Okay, fellow students, Jeremy again. Picking up here in our book from page 101, step 9, we've just created our customer table, or our customer class as we've known it to be, but in Access it's known as a table. We're going to now just go ahead and create do the same thing. We're going to create a sales table or sales class. So let's get back into it. I haven't closed anything out, so all I got to do is click back here to my Access program. As you can see, this is our customer. I was kind of explaining you can stretch these out. I would have I would have personally chosen a little bit better naming sequence to not. I mean, I know it's customer, 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 so I wouldn't necessarily put customer on there. I would have just put zip, first name, last name, and everything. I haven't tried this, but I believe you can just stretch these over. So it was odd having the zip done at the beginning. You can just kind of stretch it and bring it over there. So you can put it in, you can rearrange it in a little bit different order. It's not going to hurt anything that I'm aware of, unless things have changed. I don't think so. But that makes it a little cleaner. And like I said, though, you can stretch these so you can see them all. And if you exceed your space, you'll use the little slider bar. It'll show up. It should show up here when we get too far. Um, and you don't have to worry about the spacing because you're like, oh, my first name's too big or too little. It, it will just kind of like tuck it underneath it. If you made a really long name, but the data is going to stay in there. It's going to be based upon what we've chosen it to be. Like short text, I think there's like 256 characters. You could do a long text, which is a lot greater. Um, Things like that. So we can adjust it. That's the nice thing about Access. It's very flexible, but it's also kind of dangerous being flexible because people start making mistakes and spaghetti strapping their stuff together, and then it starts causing problems down the road, which is kind of why our book kind of said we need to lay out a blueprint to begin with, because yeah, it's a whole lot easier to do it right the first time than to have to change it around later. But it's flexible enough that if it's a little modification, you can do that. So anyway, all we got to do here for getting into this with sales table. Um, I'm sorry. So we're creating the inventory table. I said sales table. It's the inventory table. So again, click on create, click table, click the design view again, name our table. In this case, it's going to be inventory table. And again, I'm going to use my format of table. Okay, let me put it here. They want it to say inventory table. Don't forget to use the underscore for spaces. You can leave spaces, it's not recommended. So that's what they want. I'm just going to call it TBL inventory. All right, click OK. And we're back here again. Again, I'm going to put this as my change that first ID to inventory primary key. Oops, misspelling. Inventory. Okay, all right. And then just to stay with them, we'll go ahead and put their numbering system. We're probably going to end up being a field we're not going to use. Um, because I'll stick with the primary key instead of their primary key. As I said, I like the auto-generated ones versus theirs, but just so that you can do it your way, or following the book exactly, I'm just putting this in here. So inventory space underscore ID number. And this one you make a number, and so this is the books, right, PK, and this is, you can put any description here. This is the books PK, this is my PK. All right. Oh, we need to go here to the number. Down here at the bottom, decimal places, auto, 0, required, no. See, and we know primary keys are supposed to be yes, so why they're saying no, that's not correct. Indexed, yes. Never mind. I understand. If their primary key, yes, we want, so required, you should say yes. All right. And, but in my case, I'm going to keep it as no because I've got my other key. But change this also, the index, to yes, no duplicates. Okay. I'll do that for this field. For me, this is just kind of going to be a ghost field. I'm not going to use it. But for you, if you're going to go with the way the book is, make sure that's yes, and yes, no duplicates. If I go over here to my number, you'll see here it's yes, no duplicates, and it's going to be automatically generated for me. So the first thing we're dealing with here is the sales number. And so we're going to put in here sales number. All right. And I'm going to add one more thing. They like to just say a sales number, but I know that we're going to use this field for a foreign key. So I'm going to put FK. And it's going to be a number. And so this is my my foreign number. So I can just put my foreign number here. Okay. Number. Okay. And go back here and edit the type, clean up the rules here for that. We want a long integer. We want it auto. Default 0. Required no. We don't necessarily have to have a foreign key to make a record. Index, though, we want to change it to yes. And duplicates are okay, because we could have multiple sales from the customer. And then general is fine. So that's that one. And then we have 4 more to do here. So we go description, short text, completion date, spaces again, underscores, date. Make this one a date and time. I just typed the word DAT, it comes up, but you can pull down this here out of this list of what you want it to be. So date and time. And then cost. This one we're going to be currency. Again, you could pull it down or just type CUR. It'll pop in by itself. Click the tab button, jumps you to the next place. And then tabbing from the end brings you back to the beginning. And you can just type in price. Tab over, change it to currency. Tab over. You could put a description if you want. And according to the book, that's all we needed to do. Step 10 does say to create the rest of the tables and attributes given using the appropriate data types and properties. Generally, validation rules are used for primary keys. So that's what we've done. So I'll meet you in the next video, and we will look at creating relationships in Access. You can also jump back and forth to the different tables we have, and you can jump back and forth from the view styles that you see here. So you have to save it when you're in design view. I'll explain what's going on there too in the next video. All right. So see you soon.